Yeah, well, unfortunately I'm from nowhere exotic. I'm just from over on the mainland. But just this past year I took a year off to travel and see some of the world, and somehow or other I made my way to Kenya and volunteered for 3 months on a water project that was designed and being built with the principles of permaculture. And after that, when it was time to finally come back to Canada, I was looking for sort of a similar experience, something else that I could do to try and continue my development in that area and continue learning about permaculture. And I found the ad for an intern position at Affinity and thought that it sounded perfect. So here I am.
Okay, and how's your experience so far?
It's been great. I mean, it's completely polar opposite of what I was experiencing at Africa, but that's exactly what I was looking for, is something to give me kind of a as wide of an experience as possible. And yeah, I couldn't be happier here. It's been great.
Why don't you introduce us to your friend here?
Well, this is Max.
Hello.
From Toulouse, France.
Yeah.
Joined us just 2 months ago. He's studying agricultural
Agriculture,
engineering.
yeah.
And
so
English.
Max, I know you're all the way from France, and English is your second language, but you want to tell us a little bit about your experience here? And
Yeah. So I'm an engineer. I'm in an engineer school, and I'd like to learn permaculture because it's kind of agriculture that we don't learn in France and in an engineer school. So I like to learn permaculture, and that's why I'm here. And yeah, I make an internship for 3 months and maybe continue my learning next summer in a 6 month experience.
how long are you here for?
I'm here for 2 months, and so I have 1 month to do again.
So what happens after that?
After that, I go back to France and finish my school, or finish my 3rd year. And after I have 6 months to do, so maybe find a place to learn a lot of permaculture stuff. I don't know where, maybe in Canada again. And yeah.
So, Kiren, let's just talk a little bit about, what's your aspirations for the future? What's your long-term plan?
Yeah. I mean, at the moment, it's a little bit difficult to say. Still very much embroiled in the uncertainty of youth. But I would like to go to school to study architecture. I've always been interested in design and physical space. And actually, I think almost more so now after my experiences with permaculture, because a broad-scale site design approach is really lacking in traditional architecture. I don't think that people take enough consideration of the full scope of a place and all of the resources that are available to you when you're trying to design a building for living or for working. I mean, there's so much available to you just in the soil beneath your feet. Focusing on covering it up with slabs of concrete is a little bit counterintuitive, I think, when you could be bringing up all this energy from the earth in growing food and using the native plant life for water filtration. I mean, the possibilities are endless, and it's really exciting.
So this will be an important part of your future education then. That's great.
I hope so, yeah.
So Max, tell us, what would you say to any of your friends back home who might be thinking about studying permaculture and traveling?
About the permaculture in France?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there is only one form of permaculture in France.
Okay.
and so it's just the beginning of, I think, a new type of agriculture. So I'd like to create my own farm in 3 years at the end of my school. Yeah, just in order to create food and to feed people around me with healthy food, and yeah, I think it's a good reason. Yeah.
I understand you're a real fan of Canadian football.
Yeah.
All right. So, Kiren, again, just anybody that might be watching this, what would you tell them about your experience and the opportunities that they might find here?
Well, the accommodations are absolutely top notch. I couldn't recommend them more highly. David and Diana are some of the nicest people I've ever met. They're extremely warm and loving, and both highly knowledgeable when it comes to farming and permaculture. And David is a microirrigation specialist, which is a field that is rapidly growing and doesn't have very many people involved in it with the level of knowledge that he has. So I mean, it would be worth coming just to learn about that, I think. But you'll also find that Affinity is early enough in its development that you're not going to arrive and find all of these extremely complex systems that are in place that you can't really see the development of, that you can't really identify how it was actually built. It's so thickly layered. I mean, it's they're only in their second or third year here, and they've got big plans, but it's going to take a lot of work to get there, and a lot more design. And I think that stage is the most crucial for educational purposes.
Great. So, Max, any last words?
Yeah, it's a very good place to learn permaculture. Yeah.
And English, perhaps?
Yeah, in English. Yeah, sure.
All right. Well, thank you very much for your time. It's been great.
You're welcome.
My pleasure.